You thought we were done talking about N7 Day 2022, but oh no. I say when we're done. Because you see, every now and then, someone brings up yet another detail about the Mass Effect teasers that I haven't caught yet, and of course, I have to talk about it because you guys have made it my job. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Now, instead of discussing the corrupted video footage of the relay construction, we're gonna start with the official concept art that Michael Gamble tweeted about together with the decrypted message from Liara. Now, we've already theorized about what planet this concept art might be depicting. And the most common ideas I've seen juggled around so far is that this is either the Asari home planet Thessia, the bustling trade center of Ilium, or even Omega, which may or may not have gone through a complete reconstruction, as it's possible that this is in fact Omega because of the rusty coloration we see on this piece of art. But what if I told you that this is not Omega? And neither is it Thessia or Ilium. In fact, it is likely that this is actually Earth. The reason why I say this is because of two very important details that I haven't seen anyone bring up yet. First, let's look at these structures. Now, when I looked at this picture for the first time, I instantly started thinking of an older art piece that was revealed in Bioware Stories and Secrets from 25 years of game development. And when we look at this art piece, the architecture for these terraforming structures are almost distinctly remnant. The remnants being the caretaker bots spread around the Helios cluster over in Andromeda. And I simply bring this up because people have commented that they think that this art piece is somehow connected to this new one. But here's the thing, these looming structures does not look remnant in design when you compare them. However, they do resemble one thing that we've seen in Mass Effect before, and some of you may have caught this the first time. Of course, I'm talking about the Reaper structure in London, and comparing these structures, they are pretty reminiscent of each other, specifically because of the beams of light shooting towards the sky. And if you remember from Mass Effect 3, this structure in London was used by the Reapers to transport, well, humans to the Citadel for processing. Now, while I doubt that these structures would serve the very same purpose, what they could be is basically a new way of transportation from ground to space. And if we look at the ending of Mass Effect 3, we see the London structure still being used even after the Reaper War. So chances are that more of these buildings have been erected across Earth to make transportation easier. Now, to make this even more likely is the fact that we see these three individuals wearing some form of breathing masks. And as we know from Mass Effect 3, Earth was ground zero for the Reaper War, meaning that our home planet was absolutely devastated compared to all the other homeworlds in the galaxy, which would explain the need for protective gear for some places on Earth. And since we can assume that the Citadel is still hovering above Earth, Earth might even be a major hub in the next game. Specifically because the Sol system is probably the new home of the Citadel. But that's just a theory, so don't hold me to that. Another thing that's highly interesting is that Michael Gamble specifically posted this art piece with Liara's quote about humanity being defiant, which to me sounds like he's teasing a possible connection between humanity and this planet or city. And of course, my guess is that he's hinting at this being Earth. And now, while we're on the topic of Liara's message, Michael Gamble cheekily left us with Liara's titles at the end of his tweet, saying Doctor, Shadowbroker, and Redacted. Now, I'm not gonna dive too deep into this, as I'm saving that for another video, but I can say that I'm pretty sure that this last redacted part is supposed to say Benefactor. Now, I'm not going to divulge much more on that, but what I want you guys to do is to tell me whether you think I'm right or if I'm wrong. And of course, whether you have another idea of what this redacted part might be. Anyhow, let's move on to another detail that a lot of you guys have caught on to. Now, you may remember that I recently brought up the idea that the Reapers might have bigger roles than we previously thought for the next Mass Effect. And the reason I say this is because of some very hidden details that was found in the metadata of the corrupted video. But since I already covered this, I highly suggest you go check out that video first. In any case, the reason I bring this up is because of something we see in the footage that, well, let's just say it's interesting. Now, the following clip is from one of my latest live streams where I analyze said detail. That said, if you do want to catch me live, head on over to Twitch and follow me there, as that's where I'll be streaming for now. Alright, here's the clip, and do let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Okay, here's the thing. I can't really find anything new. I've been like searching this high and low. There is this super weird thing. I haven't made a video on this yet, but I probably should. So as you can see here, right? There's this weird thing going on here, right? I don't really know what that is. Some people have actually said, oh, it's a cloaked reaper. I just can't stop laughing because I don't see it. It's like that's what I like about all the people in the Mass Effect community. We keep seeing stuff that's probably not there. There is for sure like some weird disturbance going on here, but I don't think that's a cloaked reaper. Yeah, there is more. There's always more. It's just filled to the brim with stuff to find. And the unfortunate reality is that Michael Gamble he won't say what it is because of course he wants us to talk about it. But yeah, so there's the thing with the 4, you know, the antenna sticking out of the 4 there. And then we have, right, the little ship there, which I think is the ship we're going to have in the next game. MR7, which is the coloration of Cerberus. That's one I've gone over. Some people have talked about the ships we're seeing around the relay being like Andromeda ships, but I don't see the resemblance at all. I think these are wholly new. I don't recognize them at all, except those ones you see up on the horizon there. Those they look a little archy, if that's a word. Oh shit, I gotta scroll up a little bit. Sorry guys.